What's going on, guys, and welcome back to another episode of Career Mode. This is episode number 220, and we start today's episode off by seeing that we've been given £5 million for progressing to the Champions League semi-finals. Of course, in the last game, in the last episode, we took on Barcelona, and we beat them in the Champions League quarter-final second leg by 2-1, thanks to a very unusual hero. Let's just say that. Lyndon Abita came off the bench to score a deflected winner in extra time. No one saw that coming. A very unlikely source, let's just say that. Still, we take on Hull City for the first game of today's episode here, the first of two games as we travel to take on Steve Bruce's side. Obviously, as I mentioned, Hull City before, a side in career mode who you never really know what they're going to do. Sometimes they do very well, sometimes they're quite average, but this season, they're currently sitting in mid-table, well, towards the bottom half of the mid-table. Coming into the game, though, I still fancied our chances despite a weakened side, and the first chance did fall to Hull, though, as Chris Ince seemed to fumble what was a simple back pass to him. He tried to pass it out as I pressed X to the pass. He didn't really kick the ball properly. Thankfully for us, though, he made a brilliant recovery save to keep it at 0-0, and from that we broke, got the ball forward, and Vargas was denied by another brilliant save, this time by the Hull City goalkeeper Silerson, and then eventually Miyaichi fires the ball over the bar. So still Hull City 0, Arsenal 0, but both sides having a couple of chances there, but it was still 0-0. In the 23rd minute, though, Ryan Miyaichi comes from left to right and plays a great through ball out wide towards Serge Gnabry. The German strikes it, but Silerson makes the save and turns it behind for a corner. So the goalkeeper looking pretty good early on. It was still goalless, and from that corner, Santi Cazorla crosses the ball in, looking for Miyaichi, and his header is cleared off the line, well, by a combination of the defender and Silerson. So still 0-0, and the goalkeeper looking very impressive early on. In the 50th minute, though, a great chance for us to take the lead here as Illaramendi picks the ball up and fake shots around his man and shoots, but it goes wide of the post and into the stand. So still Hull 0, Arsenal 0, despite a lot of chances for us in this game. We just couldn't find the opening goal. So still goalless as things stood 5 minutes after the restart. And from the goal kick, Silerson plays the ball forward towards Yannick Sagbo. De Silva Flore wins the header, and it comes to Ryo Miyaichi. The Japanese winger takes it around his man down the left-hand side, turns the afterburners on, shows his pace, keeps on going, cuts inside with the Berber spin, then a quick little roulette and shoots, but he can't hit the target, and it's still 0-0. So many chances, but we were still goalless in this game. In the 64th minute, though, a great chance for us to make it 1-0 as Illaramendi finds his man down the left-hand side. He gives it to Cazorla. Cazorla plays the ball inside towards Vargas. Nice little scoop turn by the Chilean, and what a finish as well. And whenever the guy plays, he does score, and he does it again. Hull City 0, Arsenal 1. Vargas with the goal, and it was a long time coming, but finally we break the deadlock, and deservedly so. We've been playing much better than Hull in this game, and it took us a very long time. We did get the goal to break the deadlock, and it's Hull City 0, Arsenal 1. And I didn't see it on first glance, but this is a really nice finish by Vargas. Scoop turns around his man, and then with a shot with the outside of the right boot, he puts it through the legs of the Hull City defender. Look at how nice that looks, man. Seriously, through the legs of the defender and into the side of the net. So Hull City 0, Arsenal 1. It's Vargas with the goal, and in the 86th minute here, Hull City almost equalised as Josie Altidore went forward. The first shot was, the first pass was deflected off Proctor, and then the rebound, Chris Ince managed to smother his body onto it, and eventually we got it away for a corner. So still 1-0, and from that corner, it's Tom Ince who plays the ball into the box towards Jake Livermore. It's headed away by Kagan Holland. It comes to Danny Welbeck. Welbeck is all alone here on the halfway line. Tries to take it around Liam Moore. Gets pretty fortunate as it deflects off him and comes back to him. Still Welbeck on the ball. Fake shots around Moore. Waits for a runner in the box. Picks out Illaramendi. First time header towards Mehdi Mancial. And Ribery's regen comes off the bench and makes it Hull City 0, Arsenal 2. And I thought that was a really nicely worked counter-attack as well. As Welbeck went forward down the left-hand side, Moore did make a challenge, but he couldn't get the ball off him. And Welbeck, instead of going for goal himself, just holds the ball up with a fake shot, knows there's going to be a man at the far post, and Illaramendi, most times I just head that across the goalkeeper and go to the far corner or try and head it in the near post. Instead, I thought I'll try and cushion it down because I can see a runner coming into the box, pick out Ribery's regen, and what a lovely goal that is. That is very nice by the French left midfielder, and the 17-year-old gets his first goal in the Premier League as he makes it Hull City 0, Arsenal 2. So the game is secured. Mancial gets his first goal in the Premier League, and we're very pleased with that. And it was a game which we thoroughly deserved to win as well. Hull did have the first chance of the game, which Ince had to make a really good save for, but other than that, it was a game which we controlled, to be fair. I feel like we had more possession for the majority of it, and we had more shots, obviously, and more on target, and of course more goals, and that's why we did win. So Hull 0, Arsenal 2, and we keep the charge alive in the Premier League, looking so strong right now, which is really convenient as well, because the next game of today's episode, you can see here the ball come to us and say you're putting in really good performances right now, and we're very pleased. The next game of today's episode is going to be a potential title decider against Manchester City. City come and take us on here at the Emirates Stadium, and coming into this game, as you can see, the reason we rested so many players for that Hull City game was because this game was being played in midweek and we needed a fully fit side for it. So taking on Manchester City here, as you can see by the league table right now, there's only one team that's going to catch us, and that's going to be Manchester City. They are right now 4 points behind us. Our goal difference is far superior, and of course we've got a game in hand as well. And with games running out in the Premier League, the scenario is this: if we win the game, we open up a 7-point gap and we'll still have the game in hand, and there'll only be 6 games to go for us and only 5 for City. So if we win this game, the title is, I wouldn't say effectively over, but it would be very, very difficult for City to come back into this title race. The first chance fell to us here as Mesut Ozil strike is well saved by Ruffier and turned behind for a corner after the initial corner wasn't really dealt with. So still 0-0. And in the 15th minute here, Luke Garbutt finds Aaron Ramsey. Ramsey picks out Callum Chambers. He plays a great through ball in towards Aubameyang. First time cross into the box. Lazari pops it into the bottom corner, but sadly for us, the goal is disallowed for offside, and it was correctly so. It wasn't Lazari who was offside, it was Aubameyang. It was very, very tight indeed as Chambers played the ball forward, but he was just offside. So correct decision, and it's still Arsenal 0, Manchester City 1. Arsenal 0, Manchester City 0 even. And in the 22nd minute, City had a great chance here from a free kick, which was just outside the area. Edison Cavani, the Uruguayan, was standing over it, and a former PSG and Napoli man has a really good chance to make it 1-0. He's not a bad free kick taker, Cavani, so I definitely fancied his chances of probably putting this ball in the back of the net. And he was going to strike it himself. He wasn't going to lay it off to anyone. It's Cavani with the strike, but he can't hit the target. It goes just over the bar and behind for a goal kick. So that would have been 1-0 to City, but he couldn't find the back of the net. So still 0-0 as things stood. In the 30th minute, Ryan Sarr goes for a halfway line goal, trying to catch Ruffier out, and he has to palm it behind for a corner. So obviously we scored a halfway line goal in this series through Will Hughes, but Ruffier was equal to that shot, and it's still 0-0. And in the 34th minute here, Mesut Ozil comes forward and plays a great through ball in towards Aubameyang, and with 11 minutes to go before the restart, we do take the lead. It is the danger man, Aubameyang, of course, with the goal, making it Arsenal 1, City 0, and we do take the lead in this game. It was a really nice ball by Mesut Ozil as well. Of course, we've got the attacker midfielder from Werder Bremen coming in next season on a pre-contract, who is the long-term replacement for Ozil, but Ozil's an 89 rated attacker midfielder. He's the best player in terms of overall in his squad, and he's a really underrated player in his team as well. He's got a couple of assists this season, and that was a really nice through ball. He weighted it perfectly, and by Niang went one-on-one, and of course Niang was not going to miss. So Arsenal 1, City 0, Niang with a goal, and as things stood, the 4 points gap was going to become 7, and would have a game in hand with games running out, and the title wouldn't exactly be over for Manchester City, but it would be very difficult for them to get back in the title race. So they really needed an equalising goal, and in the 45th minute, after some lovely passing, Johan Cabaye finds Fernando. He picks out Scott Sinclair. Sinclair back to Fernando, first time back heel. He finds Jesus Navas, and the Spaniard does make it Arsenal 1, Manchester City 1, and I thought that was a really nice goal. Yes, I know, poor defending by me, but just absolutely superb passing by the AI there. Lovely, lovely, wonderfully worked goal. Everyone getting involved, everyone getting a feel for the ball, and eventually Fernando's back heel. I didn't see it coming, that's why I dragged Chris Ince out to try and smother what I thought was going to be a shot. Instead, he back heels it towards Jesus Navas. The man on the line couldn't block it, and it's turned into the back of the net. So Arsenal 1, City 1, Navas' first goal of the season, and unfortunately for us, we are back on level terms. 3 minutes after the restart, though, a great chance for us to make it 2-1 after we worked the ball up the pitch here with Ramsey finding and buying Niang. Niang, the goal scorer, keeps hold of the ball and finds Mesut Ozil, who got the assist for our goal. He finds Ramsey, and just like Manchester City did for their goal, we pass the ball around a lot, just try and regain possession and make them chase us. And as Joel Campbell plays a 1-2 with Lazari here, he sprints down the right-hand side. It's a great chance to make it 2-1 as he drills an across to the danger man, and then Aubameyang is denied a wonderfully worked team goal by a brilliant save by Ruffier. What a stop that was by the goalkeeper, tipping it onto the bar from close range and keeping it at 1-1. And in the 73rd minute here, City almost won it with Samir Nasri going down the right-hand side, and the former Arsenal man plays a 1-2 with Fernando, takes it round a beat, and then plays a 1-2 with the other City player in support in Alvaro Negredo, and his strike ends up hitting the side netting and going behind for a goal kick. So if Nasri scored the goal here, the former Arsenal man, so much love lost between the Arsenal fans and Nasri to win City the game in one of the massive, one of the most important games of the season, if not the most important game of the season. That would have been chaos here at the Emirates Stadium, but it was still 1-1. In the 81st minute, we almost won it ourselves, but Ruffier made a good save. In the 84th minute, the final chance fell here as Callum Chambers loses out in the air towards Cavani. It does come towards Samir Nasri. Nasri finds Johan Cabaye. He picks out Zuccolini. Nice ball to Emenike. He finds Cavani, and Edison Cavani couldn't hit a target, and it goes behind for a goal kick. And it was how the game would finish: Arsenal 1, City 1. So with games remaining, the points gap remains at 4, and we still have the game in hand. So we are still going to be favourites to win this title, but City drawing the game means that the title isn't over just yet, and they still do have a chance to overtake us. But that is going to end the episode, guys. So as always, a big thank you for watching the video. I really hope you have enjoyed it. If you have enjoyed the episode, then please leave a like, it is much appreciated, and it really does help my channel out, and I'll see you for the next episode of Career Mode very soon.